Hi, this is Joe Arlinghouse from Valor America. I just wanted to have a little talk with you today about the 2026 election and who's going to decide it. I think there's a real big confusion in the Republican world about how we won in 2016, how we won in 2024. Who was it that kept it close in 2020? What was it that Donald Trump was doing? Who was he talking to? I think the typical reaction of everybody who's passionate about politics is to assume that when you're most passionate, when you're most aggressive about conservative issues, that you latch on to voters better. There's sort of a feeling that that's the way to win. And the trouble is that most of the people that believe what you and I believe are already locked in for the right. They're already going to vote for almost any Republican. And there's a block on the left who believe the opposite of what we believe, is going to vote for any Democrat. The problem is, who are the people that can shift enough to change elections? Well, we live in a country now that's very, very tightly divided. There's really a probably 45-45 tie in every election, where there's only about 10% of the electorate that can be shifted. In high turnout elections, Republicans do a little bit better. In low turnout elections, we do a little bit worse. But we do best when we can identify these new voters that Donald Trump identified. People that a lot of older, more experienced legislators don't even know exist. They don't understand the voters in question. Well, who am I talking about? I think generally we call them the working class. It's a little more complicated than that because they're not necessarily actually working class. Many of them are truck drivers, electricians, plumbers, people that work with their hands, union members. A lot of them just come out of that background, that experience, that they have that mentality. They are people maybe who have moved into the middle class or even the upper middle class, but their instincts come from, the family history of work. And they tend to be non-political people almost entirely. They don't watch political networks like Fox News or MSNBC or CNN. They don't listen to political talk radio. They're really not reading any of the books that, conservative people read. And they're not really very interested in being talked to about politics. And thus they're hard to connect with. But Donald Trump did. He did it in a peculiar way. A lot of people don't understand how a billionaire from the Bronx from Queens, forgive me, can do that. But he did it. And the candidate who can connect with those same people wins in these tight races. It's a block of people that's significant, and they lean left. They tend to have been told for all of their lives and their parents' lives that the Democratic Party cares about the working man. The Democratic Party cares about the person struggling. The Democratic Party cares about the poor. Now, they're disenchanted with Democrats as much as Republicans, and they're just mostly disenchanted with politics. But the person who can find these people and figure out what to say to them can change an election. That's what Valor America does. That's what we're working on in races around the country. The Senate races in Michigan and Texas and Ohio, in New Hampshire, even in Maine, Nebraska, these are going to be decided by these people. There are House races, probably 30 of them, that could shift as much as 8% based on connecting with these people. Among the hardest people to connect with, and red meat conservative issues don't generally appeal to them at all. So we'll talk more about this as we move on, but have a good day, stay cool in this heat wave, and let's keep talking about how to win in 2026. This is Joe Arlinghouse from Valor America. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.